with these guys. Can you talk just a little bit about what it's been like since January, and not necessarily the new staff coming in, but just the familiarity, the maturity of what's gone into your work since January?
I think that has part to do with the new staff coming in. The new staff meaning a new mind state. So they came in with a plan for us to be better and to progress and to have a better season than last season. Being here last year, being here for a full year, there were a lot of unmature guys, and we needed that type of, at least to get us on the right path, that discipline. And with the new staff that coming in, they ensured it. They holding us to a higher standard than it was last season. So it's been major progression, and we're just getting better day by day.
What gives you confidence that you can compete for that #1 spot?
Myself and the guys around me, they believe in me. My parents, my siblings, everybody in my support staff, they just believe in me. They keep pushing me to be better than yesterday. And my coaches, he has an amount of faith in me that is boosting my ability and my confidence in myself. So
A lot of new guys in the meeting room. How does it feel to be one of the veteran guys?
it's another day in the office. It's great to be around new faces. It's great to learn from different people. And with the new guys coming in, I can take something from them. They can take something from me. So it's just all around great.
What's something about you specifically that you want to see be improved from last season to this season?
My leadership, I would say. Just want to get guys in the right spot. Just want to be able to be someone that they can follow behind, and they want to go into battle with. Cause I would go into battle with every one of the guys on the roster, and I hope they feel the same about me.
What your best attribute is as a quarterback? What's your strongest skill?
My arm strength and ability to extend plays. Also, my release speed. I think I have a fairly quick release of speed during throwing the ball, than other cues, but I don't want to down anybody else. But just speaking about me, extending other plays in my arm strength. Also accuracy.
With the new coaching staff coming in, how beneficial has this change in the culture been for you?
It's been a great benefit because I'm learning new things that I didn't learn last season, as I should say. My coach, Coach Frye, he's teaching me a lot of new things that I haven't learned in my entire life of playing football. So it has been a great benefit.
What about the kind of the receivers that you've thrown to? I know besides Jonathan, is there some guys that are standing out to you?
Oh, everybody. All of my receivers are standing out to me. All of my receivers are dogs. All of my receivers are playmakers. All of my receivers, I love them.
You talked a little bit about Coach Frye, but what's sort of been your first impressions on him?
Learning that he was a former NFL player, his impression with me that he's very professional. He knows how to get to where I'm pretty sure everyone on his team is hoping to go. So he definitely has been a great inspiration to me, and I'm looking to learn more from him every day.
How would you evaluate yourself after this first week of spring practice?
I would evaluate myself. I feel like I could just be all around better, just up everything from the tempo to player recognition to defensive ID, just all around just to be better every day.
All right, good.
All right.
Next time.
College football, can you just tell us a few of the positives that you've seen out of the first week of practice for 2023, 2023? Three. It's hard for me to get out.
No, it's okay. It's definitely exciting. The energy has just been unmatched. I think everyone's just super excited and pumped to be here. Everyone wants to get in and grind every day and get better. We're all pushing each other, all holding each other accountable. The standard is just been set so high, and we're all really excited and looking forward to just upholding that standard each and every day. And we have the guys, we have the coaches, we have everything in place for us to do that, and it's just been a lot of fun. I'm excited to see us go forward.
You're another one that has experienced great quarterback minds. Can you separate Coach Frye and maybe something that makes him a little bit special from all the others that you've learned from?
Well, that's the easy question, actually. Yeah, he played. He played in the NFL. That's not every day where you have a coach who actually played the position, and also coached in the NFL. So both. So he hasn't only seen it; he's done it himself. So that's that's, I think, the biggest takeaway. So, I mean, obviously, not that I wasn't listening to any coach I had before, obviously did, but just it makes you pay attention so much more because he lived it, and just makes you want to soak up everything.
You certainly experienced more than your share of physical setbacks in your time here. How have you tried to keep a positive mindset going forward?
I mean, I feel like you really have no choice, or else you're just gonna sink. But it honestly hasn't been as hard as some may think. I have a great group of guys. I have a great support system. I just have great people around me. I have great teammates, great coaches who are just always there and just keep my head up. It's definitely a grind. It's a long process, but I'm getting better each and every day. I'm working to get back to 100%. So just gonna keep going forward.
Following up on that, being unavailable for last season because of injury, how do you feel right now with spring practice as you throughout your recovery?
I'm definitely hungry, very hungry. I'm itching to get back out there. Just trying to take every rep I can behind the quarterback when he's out there, even in like routes on air or walkthroughs at times. But yeah, just definitely excited. I've definitely been able to gain a lot from the mental part of the game, whether that's picking up protections or just knowing everyone else's job, or just knowing footwork and being a master of my footwork. Just I can pay attention to those details so much more when you can't necessarily throw a ball. That's really all you can do. So just trying to soak up and just get better at everything I can, because I physically can't, do some other things. So just trying to focus on those.
I know it's only been the first week of spring practice, but can you just kind of maybe compare the energy of the atmosphere, how it is now than it was last season?
It's just the standard. Just the standard, and Coach Herman is such a great respected coach that obviously he's been at very successful programs, so it's been proven that his way is the way, and to lead us to winning a lot of games, and just every little thing matters. He's harping on that every single day, and we're definitely taking note. We're definitely just trying to make sure we do all the little things right, and then that's really the biggest thing I guess I'll say is the attention to the little things, just the details. It's just been that much more of a focus for us as players, just because again that's the standard that's been set.
What are some areas in your game that you're looking to improve on?
Say that one more time.
What are some areas in your game that you're looking to improve on?
Footwork, definitely footwork. Footwork and just the fundamental standpoint of it, just knowing each and everything. I really want to just know each and everything about every play, every protection, every defense I could possibly see, whether this blitz is coming or that blitz is coming. I'm really trying to focus on those things, and when those things happen, it definitely slows the game down for me. So those are really things I need to get better on, and just on top of my footwork already.
Good. Sir?
Thank you.
One of the things that every coach, I think, coming into it as a new staff, says that they're gonna have a clean slate, but you're one that truly has a room where you can mold and make them yourself, and they do have a clean slate. Can you talk a little bit about the come to work every day knowing that you have that chance and that opportunity to take these guys and make them into something special?
Yeah, it's exciting. There's just so much that goes into playing the position of quarterback. It's everything you do matters. It's we're all the quarterbacks are evaluated obviously on wins and losses and completion percentage and how many touchdowns you throw, but there's so much more that goes into playing the position. It's truly about making the other guys on the team their jobs easier to do, and that's by leadership and your command at the line of scrimmage and being able to coach them up on the sideline on how you want routes run and the way you want to set the protection with the running backs and offensive line and all the statistical things and all the things that you see in the press is kind of an aftermath of the things that nobody gets to see. And just trying to teach them how to play it and how to lead, because that's probably the most important thing that they can do.
You're not only working with the quarterbacks, but as the coordinator, with all the position groups. as far as offensive line and the skill guys, do you feel you have enough weapons in place that they can help elevate the quarterbacks to another level?
Absolutely. Been around these guys through winter conditioning, watching them, run every morning, watching them lift weights every day. These guys work. They work extremely hard. I was really impressed with the value of work that they put in, during the months of January and February, and putting themselves in position to come out here in March and throw the ball around and put the pads on today and go out and run some inside zone. So I've been very impressed with the tools and the people that we have on offense. Because, listen, everybody's going to run the same place. Everyone's going to run inside zone. Everybody's going to run a hitch route. Everybody's going to run four verts. It's how you do it. And it's the detail in which you can do it to it at its highest level. And that's our responsibility as teachers first, is to teach them how to do it. Because anybody can throw a diagram on the board and say this is four verts, but it's how we want to run it. And the detail that exists with the landmarks and the timing and the spacing, because there's not a defense that can beat timing and spacing. So that's a process, and that's what we're figuring out right now, and we're going to get better at it every day. We're going to continue to work at it in the summertime and do the same thing in training camp, and then we'll roll the ball out there in the fall and we'll get after it.
I know that it's hard to tell because you haven't seen film from practice today. Is there one guy that you thought, with the pads on, okay, he came to play today?
I don't think it's ever one guy. Up front, those guys they have the hardest job on the field to do, and right now all we're running is inside zone and outside zone, so we're not pulling anybody or doing any of that fun stuff, but just hearing those pads clap and team run today, which is my favorite drill in football, because I believe the game starts up front. And me and Coach Warner have been meeting every day, quarterbacks and linemen, and we've been able to get on the same page as far as who we're IDing and what run looks we want to run into. And to me, that's probably the most excited I've been. Just the first play of team run and just hearing those pads hit, and just watching those guys work. And then from the perimeter game, I think LeJonte ran 8,000 yards on day one of practice. Can you imagine? Just let that sink in now. 8,000 yards. That's hard to do. And how many targets you're going to get a game, or how many targets you're going to get in a practice, and you're running 8,000 yards. I mean, you got to take your hat off to that. And that's not just him. It's all the skilled guys. So if he's running 8,000, everybody else is too. So that's just something that popped out was, man, these guys are running and they're fast. So it's going to be my job to get the ball in their hands.
What are your thoughts on the tight ends, and has there been anybody from that group that stood out to you?
Who's that?
The tight ends. Any standouts from that position?
Yeah, I think they're all working hard. Boatwright, Pasley, those guys come in. They put in work every day. Marv, he's working hard. Summy got here, and he's made some plays. So as a group, it's hard for me to single a guy out, because football is the ultimate team game. So it takes not one guy, but all 11 guys to do their job, and that's the standard. And just like Mike was saying, I'm talking to those guys all the time about, and we have really, really, really high standards. We don't know what to expect right now. We're trying to figure out who we're going to be, not only as a unit but as a team. But the standards are extremely high.
One of the main things that Mike did say about you, just kind of praising you, was your experience at the NFL level, obviously recently with Miami. Is there something that you kind of learned while playing the NFL or coaching the NFL that you kind of want to bring to these guys at college level?
Yeah, I think you grow as a human, you grow as a coach, you grow as a player, just keeping that learning mindset. That you never think you've arrived somewhere. There is no finish line in this. You're constantly improving. You're constantly, hey, oh, that's a cool idea, let's try that. And the one thing that my experience in Miami gave me was, Brian Flores he's a hell of a head coach, and his mindset defensively. I was able to sit in those staff rooms and listen to him talk about defensive football, and really learn a lot of the rules for defensive players, defensive coverages, defensive fronts. So I took a lot away from that.
We heard from two of the quarterbacks. Daniel was the guy who has the only one with D1 experience. He's not probably the ideal height you'd want in a quarterback, but what about his skill set would give him a chance to succeed here?
Yeah, I think the height thing is overrated. I think you got to look in the NFL and say, well, Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray. So they've kind of put the height thing to bed. There's so many more qualities that it takes to be successful, at this position, and a lot of it is you can't measure. It's in what's in your ticker, man. What's your fight about? How smart are you? How tough are you? Those are the things that D. Rich has. So that's why he's been able to have success at this level.
A follow-up question about my question on the tight ends. What would your approach be to utilizing that position? Would you like to see more blocking, or would you like to see more receiving from that group?
Those guys have to be, they have kind of the biggest responsibility, because they're involved in all the run game calls, they're involved in all the protections, and then they have to run routes and catch the ball and get vertical. So they have a lot on their plate, and the more that they allow me to do with them, that's what we'll do. So like I just keep saying, just not just to you guys, but in general, this game is about the players, and you have to find out what they're good at, and then you have to do those things to put them, in a chance to be successful. So that's what we're doing right now. It's like discovery mode. Every day we go on that practice field, you're discovering things, and that's the job of us coaches.
What does a Charlie Frye offense sort of look like? What are you looking to instill in these guys?
Tough and smart. If I could give those guys two things, it'd be first to teach them all the things that I was taught as a player. And I played for a lot of really good coaches. And I would like to pass those things on to them. Why? To make their jobs easier to do. Just some of the tricks and the trades and tells of the defense and techniques. Give those guys, those tools. And then just, how we practice is you have to be tough. Both physically, but more importantly, mentally. Like you saw today, all those two spots, there was chaos on that field. And that's what you're trying to create, so that when you get to the game, it's quiet.
All good?
Thank you.
Bingo.